mic muted, and then I'll talk during the end. I'll show everything, or half of it. So I don't have a stream starting yet, but I'll put it in the beginning. So yeah, alright. Hope you guys enjoy.
A game about shredding on a bike, gathering food for customers, performing insane tricks, and finishing the job in style. Fight it out in Sujimon battles. You can recruit Sujimon U5 and pit them head-to-head in intense combat. Raise your Sujimon, hone their skills, and leave your rivals wailing in defeat. Aim for the top and become the strongest Sujimon manager. Miss Match. Create your profile the way you want it, and put your chatting skills to the test to lighten up the mood. Will you be able to meet the girl of your dreams? Every nook and cranny of town has a new surprise waiting in store. Karaoke offers an incredible selection of songs to sing to your heart's content. Oh yeah! What's more, Sega Bass Fishing, Spike Out, and many other classic games return in this title. You'll never run out of games to play. Featuring extreme battles with a world-class locale as the backdrop. And tons of mesmerizing content. Ryuga Gotoku Studio brings you the ultimate entertainment. Go take a trip on the wild side. Like a dragon, infinite wealth.
Good hunting done there.
We're on the brink, boys.
Go!
Bravo to Watcher. Target secure.
Pre-purchase and get early access to the campaign.
It is time. Mask up. Light them up.
All good.
Room's clean. Oh, they're actually real. They're actually here. Let's go.
Cover me!
We gotta go! It's the cops! Here they come!
Put him down.
Roger.
Move out the target. Blanket up. Target sighted.
Looks like we have a weapon.
We're coming up on the EZ. ETA 2 minutes. We got intel that Zakhaev was planning something a few months ago.
By the time we worked out where he was operating, all we could do was go kinetic and hope to flush the bastard out.
One of our checkpoints reported hostile contact. Then the whole town went dark.
Until we know what's going on, containment is the name of the game. No one gets in, and nothing, I mean nothing gets out. Clear?
Ravenov here has experience with this kind of incursion.
Brilliant. He'll give you the lay of the land. Keep your head up and listen to him if you want to survive.
Report to SS Green. Out here, this is her show. Welcome to Operation Deadbolt.
This is us. Let's move.
Pre-order any digital edition and get the Zombie Ghost Operator skin.
Alpha team clear. Heading to surface. All teams, eyes on target. Phase 1 complete. Charlie copies. We're set. Roger that. Moving to phase 2. Patrol boat 2 o'clock. Get under. Stay tight. Roger. No movement.
laptop.
All teams, Alpha's in. How copy? Solid. Relay went clear. Moving to Mark DZ. Stand by.
Nods on. Airstrib's on.
Hold.
Drop him.
DZ clear.
3-1. Kilo leg. Alpha to Bravo 1. Marking with IR. Confirm visuals. Visuals. Bravo inbound. All teams. Bravo's on deck. Pushing up. Alpha to Charlie. You set? Affirmative. All teams green to go in phase 2. Check. Roger. Moving interior. All clear.
Descending stairwell, south side.
Nods off. Be advised. They got a bird up.
Movement in the courtyard. Looks like a prisoner transfer.
Not our guy. On me. Hold up here. All teams, Alpha's in position. Copy. Bravo set. Charlie, good to go. Roger. Fire in the hole. Stand by.
3, 2, 1. Execute. They're taking the bait.
Light 'em up.
Smoke out.
Hatchway. On me. Move. Pop the hatch.
Let's go. Stay close.
Bravo. Alpha's in the tunnels. What's your status? Outside the control room. Waiting on you. Copy. At the gate. Stand by.
All teams, let's roll front down. Bravo, full deploy.
Roger. Blackout in 3, 2, 1. Execute. All teams, Bravo's got the keys. Alpha, you have 1 mic before the lights are back online. Copy, Bravo. Kick off the riot.
Alpha 1 to Bravo 1. Open 55C.
Check. Clear.
Alpha moving on sub-level. Let's get our guy. Ready, breach? Breacher up.
Pre-order the Vault Edition and get the Nemesis Operator Pack and the Fate Weapon Vaults. The Season 1 Black Cell Bundle with 50 tier skips and more.
There's a bright golden haze on the meadows. There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. The sounds of the earth are like music. All the sounds of the earth are like music. The breeze is so busy, don't miss a tree.
So, this is home now. Home. Family.
That's cute.
Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful...
We need an army.
I can get us an army.
I got a beautiful feeling. Everything going my way.
It's about time.
We're a team. All of us. No one fights alone.
I'll follow you from here on out.
Peggy 18.
Like a dragon is going places. Bask in the tropical sun, take in the ocean breeze, and join Ichiban as he explores paradise on a mission to find his mother. Alone, far from home, without a penny to his name, he must rise from rock bottom. So pack your bags and get ready. You're going to Hawaii. Complete with a dynamic weather system, the sights and sounds of Hawaii have been faithfully recreated in painstaking detail. It's shaping up to be the biggest adventure yet. The combat system where characters duke it out in action-packed RPG battles will get your blood pumping. You can move your character during their turn and take full advantage of your enemy's position to obliterate them. Kazuma Kiryu is back and ready to rumble, and he's got plenty of tricks up his sleeve. Awaken his fighting spirit and unleash mayhem in real time. Crush your enemies with overwhelming power. Additionally, by taking tours only available in Hawaii, You can change into brand new jobs.
なんか使えそうな気が。はあ？海が呼んでるぜ。
Samurai. Desperado. Geodancer. Pyro Dancer. Housekeeper. Action Star. Many more exciting jobs are waiting to be discovered. Observe, listen, or just have fun, and find your career of choice. Houndmates, a summoning service that can turn the tide of battle, is back and better than ever. Choose from a legendary lineup of allies and iconic blasts from the past.
君の瞳に乾杯。
公務執行妨害でしょっていたる。
派手に決めてやるぜ。決めてやる。
Deepen your bonds with your party as you travel throughout the world. Every experience makes Ichiban and his friends grow stronger. Build your party up and wipe out any foes in your path.
Let's crazy! Are you ready? Yep.
There's no shortage of side experiences either. Take Crazy Delivery, a game about shredding on a bike, gathering food for customers, performing insane tricks, and finishing the job in style. Fight it out in Sujimon battles. You can recruit Sujimon U5 and hit them head-to-head in intense combat. Raise your Sujimon, hone their skills, and leave your rivals wailing in defeat. Aim for the top and become the strongest Sujimon manager. Mismatch. Create your profile the way you want it, and put your chatting skills to the test to lighten up the mood. Will you be able to meet the girl of your dreams? Every nook and cranny of town has a new surprise waiting in store. Karaoke offers an incredible selection of songs to sing to your heart's content.
Oh yeah!
What's more, Sega Bass Fishing, Spike Out, and many other classic games return in this title. You'll never run out of games to play. Featuring extreme battles with a world-class locale as the backdrop. And tons of mesmerizing content. Ryuga Gotoku Studio brings you the ultimate entertainment. Go take a trip on the wild side. Like a dragon, infinite wealth.
やっぱハワイの日の出は一味違うな。 任せろ。
ええ。
Wipe that look off your mug. どうした？行くぜ。
All right,
Come
at me.
Making fun of me? Come on. I don't got all day.
Hey!
おい。
なあ。
富澤。
ああ。
桐生さん。 子いいね。
Smooth sailing, I'd say.
Aloha. Hello.
Aloha.
Aloha. Hey.
Hey.
Hello. さすがハワイの海。いつ見ても綺麗だな。人泳ぎするか。
負ける気しないよ。
覚悟はいいんだね。
よっしゃ、行くぜ。
よーし。
はい、
はあ。おい。
俺の番だ。
相手してあげる。
ほら。俺の番だな。
さっさと来い。
ご乗車ありがとうございます。シートベルトをお締めください。右へ曲がります。左へ曲がります。ご利用ありがとうございました。
行くぜ。
いつでも
なかなかいいのが撮れたな。
よう、いい写真撮れたのかい？
ああ、バッチリだ。最高のショットが撮れたよ。やっぱ写真を撮るならハワイが一番だな。
確かにビーチとか綺麗なもんが多い街だもんな。写真撮るには最高なんだろうな。なあ、もしよかったら撮ったやつ見せてくれねえか？
ああ、いいぜ。もしかしてあんた観光客とかか？
まあそんなところかな。いつもは横浜にいるんだけど、ちょっと用事で来てんだい。春日一番だ。よろしくね。
俺はジョージ・クロキ。トロリーに乗っていつも写真を撮っているんだ。こちらこそよろしくな、春日ちゃん。さて、写真が見たいんだったな。ほれ、見てみろ。自信作ばかりだ。
どれどれ。
どうだい、最高の写真ばかりだろう。
どうだいじゃねえよ。なんだよこれ。全部怪しい連中の写真じゃねえか。
そりゃそうさ。俺は怪しい連中、不審者専門のカメラマンだからさ。
不審者専門のカメラマン？
ああ、ハワイってのはもともと開放的な場所だから、調子に乗って悪さをする不審者が多い場所なんだが、最近変な被り物をした不審者がハワイの観光客に嫌がらせをするっていう悪趣味な動画がネットでその動画の真似をして被り物をしてバカなことをする愉快犯みたいな。
Peggy 18.
So now I'll wait to, obviously, gameplay mechanics, kind of creating that survival horror experience is very important.
There's going to be a lot to handle, but the player will have all the tools in their disposal to fight the darkness.
Saga stories start relatively classic horror movie. It's like someone from the real world entering this quirky town, coming here to do a job. She has this uncanny intuition that allow her to solve difficult cases.
She kind of perceives that threat through the lens of this case board. The case board is a mental projection where she kind of gets to stash data that she's gathered, and that's where she makes sense of it.
She's profiling suspects who appear in vision-like way. She calls it her mind place.
When she's confronted to her first take-in, suddenly the supernatural is really present, and she's excited about it. She's curious, it's something new for her.
When Kieran meets Saga for the first time, it was interesting to have this feeling of like being protective. Like, trust me, you don't want to cross this line, because when you see all the things that we've seen at FBC, there's no coming back from this.
But when the supernatural threatens a family, the stakes are much higher, and she has to fight for her own life and the life of her loved one.
Logan? Logan!
So Saga has her mind place, and then because we've got the two experiences, this idea of duality, we wanted to have the same concept mirrored on Alan Wake's side. So he has what we call the writer's room. They'll be in a version of Wake's cabin from the first game, and then inside there we have different modules that the player can interact with. One of those modules is what we call the plot board. The player can see what they've done in the past. It almost acts like a quest log in a traditional game, and the player will be discovering inspiration for Alan. So he'll be kind of coming across what we call echo scenes.
Something lingered here. A half-forgotten memory. An echo.
These give Alan ideas that the player can then utilize on the board. It's the idea of rewriting reality to be able to change the world around them.
I changed the story, and with that, the dark place changed.
This allows them to kind of progress through areas they would not be able to before. It'll uncover new narrative information, potentially even uncover more dangerous threats in that space.
Some Fed came looking for the culprit, but it was a trap.
Light is definitely a big part of Alan Wake 2. We have this new mechanic that allows Alan to place and remove lights in predefined scenes. And since the dark place works in mysterious ways, doing this actually has a physical effect on the world. So, for example, a wall could turn into a doorway or a set of ladders. This gives, of course, different opportunities for exploration and gameplay.
You need to use your light in a conservative way, because sometimes it helps you to guide your way and sometimes it can actually hamper your progression. Saga needs to use her flashlight to burn away the darkness, expose weak spot, and finding new possibilities of taking down the enemies. And for Wake, it's a matter of figuring out what is real and what is not. The danger will be lurking behind every single corner.
You will never escape!
Definitely, light is a weapon, but it's also a way to survive. From time to time, you might get overwhelmed, so you need to constantly push the threat back and seek refuge in the light and manage resources while doing all that. We have put a lot of emphasis on the physicality on the enemies, way they animate and how they hit player. One thing that is important in comparison to other games that we have made, that player needs to very actively look at the enemy tells, look at their combos, time their dodges, time their attacks carefully to defeat the foe while preserving the ammo. We have weapon that allows more silenced approach, and then we have more close and personal, getting the job done style of weaponry.
Alan Wake 2 is built on the foundation of our previous games. It's not just a step forward. To me personally, it feels like a leap forward. The elements in interactive storytelling that I have wanted to experiment on and brought to our games, they are all there present, all pushed way forward in all kinds of unexpected ways. It's all a very logical continuation on this journey.
Peggy 18.
Previously on Alan Wake.
Cauldron Lake is a special place.
Alice? Alice?
My name is Alan Wake, and I'm a writer.
Alan Wake? Oh, God! I am your biggest fan.
I came to Bright Falls with my wife, Alice. I was a successful writer, but that was a long time ago.
I thought maybe you could write here.
Just don't! I don't want to hear it! God damn it, Alice!
Alice was taken by a monster called the Dark Presence.
I will tell you what to do.
The Dark Presence made me write a horror story that came to life.
No!
It wore the face of an old woman. Behind the mask was pure darkness. The story would make it strong enough to escape the dark place. But there was a weapon to use against the Dark Presence. A light switch. The clicker. To save Alice, I needed to enter Cauldron Lake. Dive deeper.
Back to work, boy.
I resurfaced in the dark place. I fought the Dark Presence and took control of my story. I changed the ending. I sacrificed myself so Alice could go free. Now, I'm trapped in the dark place.
Alan?
This nightmare has only just begun.
Alan?
Next on Alan Wake. I need to escape before I lose my mind. I need to write a new story, a hero to help me. The Dark Presence is out there, haunting me.
準備はできてるな、春日。やるしかねえ。ええ、やってやりましょうや。気合い入れてこぜ。とりゃ。よしよしよしよし、いい子だ。いったい。
Too many street punks getting you down? Time for the getaway you deserve? Dondoko Island is the destination for you. Welcome to your vacation within a vacation, where a cozy DIY lifestyle awaits. Gather materials from your surroundings. Buy unique furniture. Or simply craft it yourself. And watch as your dream home unfolds, just the way you like it. In fact, you can customize the whole island to your heart's content. Make friends with memorable characters. Develop your island to accommodate all kinds of tourists and give them the time of their lives. But beware of certain uninvited guests. You'll have to beat some sense into them to preserve your island kingdom. Explore nature. Build infrastructure. Interact with others. And develop your own resort island, your way.
It seems there will be trouble.
This dangerous new guy in town seems to have his eye on doing business in old Detroit.
Every gang in the city start advertising their services.
I've got to go, but the party goes on.
We need to find him before things get out of control.
Street vultures are the biggest gang in Detroit.
Mr. Spike has become my business partner.
Such as meeting the new guy tonight at the old slaughterhouse.
I hear music. We're getting close. Definitely hear some commotion on the other side.
Justice never sleeps.
I'm not playing any more games! After him!
I have a large supply of bullets.
I ain't scared of you. I'm pumped up with milk like a freaking power plant!
Then, get ready for a meltdown.
What's that noise?
You now have 5 seconds to comply.
Hi, I'm Philipp Seifried, Technical Director on Dungeons of Hinterberg.
And I'm Regina Reisinger, Art Director on Dungeons of Hinterberg. I know a lot of you have been asking to see more of the social aspects of Hinterberg, and how the people you hang out with can help you as you progress through the game, so we're excited to give you a better look.
In this short trailer, we will give you a glimpse at how you might spend a typical day in Dungeons of Hinterberg. Decide which overworld to travel to, spend the day slaying and puzzling in a dungeon, and then head back to the village to befriend someone who may be the key to your success.
been chosen to govern a land of great peril and promise. It has suffered long from the scourge of banditry, but there is another threat, an illegitimate baron who claims the northern territories as his own. Will you prove yourself worthy of this honor, or will you perish by the traitor's steel?
Talk about putting your money where their mouth is. Ouch!
There's one! That cash out will take time to complete. Maybe they can destroy their way out of trouble here. Whoa! What a move!
No doubt about it, Scotty. We've got strategies in play.
Look at this! It's a trap!
Uh-oh.
The killer left the heart next to the body. This wasn't some random act of violence. This was a ritual. A page of text, written with a typewriter. Someone's been watching us.
How do you run from an idea? From a story that lives in your head? I need to escape this nightmare.
Wake says the story will change reality around us. Why are we written into the story? I brought you the Heart Witch. Show me the terror.
Show me the terror.
The page says the record will open the overlap. Or is the page predetermining it? Am I just playing into the story?
Water pressed in on out of the question! An opening to felt good!
She can't see me in the light. Where is she?
Restless dreams. To darkness!
The song will show me the way.
Look in the mirror, cobweb of my soul. My face forever, seeking to be whole. Driven by passion, raging like a storm.
The overlap is at the pond. Fuck. Here we go again.
This is Steve Downs, the voice of Master Chief, Sierra 117, and you're listening to Podcast Unlocked, the world's #1 Xbox podcast. Now, finish this fight. Master Chief, out.
What's happening, friends? Welcome to Podcast Unlocked. We are live. It's episode 618, immediately following that Xbox partner preview stream. I'm Ryan McCaffrey here in IGN's San Francisco studio, joined by the return of regular cast member who we just haven't been able to see for a while, Miranda Sanchez. Welcome back.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for having me back.
Joined for a special occasion. We've got plenty to talk about, a whole bunch of games we just saw. Also joining us from Spawn on Me, our friend Khalif Adams. Good to see you, Ka.
Good to see you all. Let's get into it. I'm excited to talk about all the goodies that we got a chance to see.
And down in LA, Destin Legary. Hello, my friend.
Good to see you, Ryan. Good to see you, Miranda.
Yeah, I'm always just like, thanks for having me back, guys. I'm really excited. I've missed this.
Absolutely.
And of course, good to see you, Ka.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, Ka and I had a pact last week that we were going to celebrate the start of the NBA season by wearing jerseys today. Ka did his part. So now I wasn't counting on my Diamondbacks winning the pennant last night. So I've got my Diamondback jersey, but I did make you a promise, Khalif. I did make you a promise. So
reveal.
So yeah, we'll get into it.
This is the
here.
one more thing from the show.
Yeah, this is the one more thing. It's actually it's the new Suns jersey. It's the new jersey, but we'll get into it here.
Very good.
The partner preview. That was a fun 30 minutes. I will say I had my expectations set. I wouldn't say low, but I knew they weren't set like in the atmosphere. I wasn't expecting, and they made sure not to set the expectations to very high. We knew we weren't going to be getting any game reveals out of that, but we actually did. They set set the expectation down here, and then we got a couple little things. Let me just go around the table first, because there were a bunch of games in that 30 minutes, and let's just get everybody's favorite right out of the gate. Miranda, I'll go to you. It's Shake Off the Rust, the Podcast Unlocked Rust. And what was your favorite thing in there in that last half hour?
Alan Wake 2, because we got Old Gods of Asgard, which is the in-game band for the Alan Wake franchise, and we got some of their music. But Ka and I were just saying, like, we have to look away. We can't see this. Like, that game's coming out this week, and I don't want to see anything else at this point. So
I know, I just got my code for it. I'm just like, I'm so close to playing it, and it's only 2 days away for general release here. Khalif, your top pick from the last 30 minutes.
As I held my eyes away from the screen to not watch Alan Wake, it had to have been Metal Gear Snake Eater Remake, because that looked ridiculously good. As a big MGS fan, seeing where that's going and seeing it in Unreal Engine 5, woo boy, that looks good. So hype for that.
Destin, are you gonna join Ka on this? I'm guessing.
Well, I was torn between two, actually. There was one I didn't expect to impress me as much, but I will echo Ka's sentiment. Metal Gear Solid Delta looks phenomenal, being developed in Unreal Engine 5. I can't wait to play that game. Like, getting to see the intro area and a few later game spots was really, really nice to see. Yeah, remember, we've only been teased with a few screenshots of this, so this is actually getting to see gameplay in action, what it's going to be like. Like, look at how the mud moves around him, and how it's so cool to see a fully realized version of Metal Gear Solid 3 running in Unreal Engine 5, next-gen hardware. And this game is phenomenal, so I cannot wait to play through it again, especially with the re-release of Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1, which has a plethora of issues. I won't get into that, but it is nice to see Konami at least focusing back on the Metal Gear Solid franchise, and hopefully Delta is everything we hope it is.
Yeah,
Sorry to take up so much time. We got to talk about Ark also.
Oh, we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, I mean, it is good to hang here on MGS3 for a moment, because you make a good point about the fact that we were only teased on this with screenshots. And if you kind of zoom out a little bit with Unreal Engine 5 in general, we've had a couple of UE5 games ship. And they're beautiful. Lords of the Fallen, Immortals of Avium are a couple notable ones that come to mind. But one of the things that Unreal Engine 5 is supposed to be really good at is generating like forests with all the light filtering through the leaves and the god rays and stuff. And this might be the first time we've kind of really seen that in Unreal Engine 5 running in a proper game rather than a tech demo. So yeah, I agree. This looked great. I mean, this is pretty cool. Yeah, look at, I'm a sucker for good lighting in any game. You give me good lighting, and that's going to make me happy 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, I recently played through at least the first few hours of Metal Gear Solid 3, so getting to see it, it's very surprising to see just how much they've been able to keep the original formula, but also evolve these set piece areas. Like that was a boss fight location in that underground sort of cave looking thing, and the little crabs and frogs that you eat to survive basically in the game. I'm very excited about this one. I hope it comes out and it runs well, and hopefully they do this with some of the other Metal Gear games. Like I would love to see Metal Gear 1 remade in Unreal Engine 5 where they don't go as far as they did with the GameCube version of the game, Twin Snakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm also a huge Metal Gear fan, Ka. I do feel like, Ryan, we should... I think Ark was also very impressive. Ark Survival Ascended.
Please take it away. Yeah.
Yeah, that because Ka took Metal Gear, and I wanted to fanboy out about it. I also want to mention Ark Survival Ascended because I haven't really paid too much of attention to Ark. Ark Survival Ascended was originally October, I guess, but they didn't have a date or anything. It just says coming soon. But to see this engine and what it's capable of, and like just the dinosaurs walking around in the foliage like this, like that's really impressive. It's a very stunning visual set piece to have within your presentation, and I think expanding awareness about Ark and how far the game has come since the original Survival Ascended, it's looking really, really great visually, and it has me interested to hop in and play a game and learn a little bit more about it.
Well,
and how to shoot dinosaurs.
Destin, I'm going to ask you an ignorant question here, and I'm sure I'll get laughed at in the comments, which is fine. I'm okay with that. But I haven't played Ark since it first dropped into game preview on Xbox One. What, 5-6 years ago, maybe more at this point. So I haven't played it in some time. Is Survival Ascended a full-on sequel? Because Ark 2 was announced with that Vin Diesel trailer like 3 years ago, and we haven't seen it yet. So where does this fit in? Do you know?
As far as I know, well, the chat will probably, give me flack also, but I believe Ark Survival Ascended is like an expansion to the original game, and potentially sort of like No Man's Sky Next, where it's almost like a relaunch for the original game.
All right.
Where they have this amazing looking expansion, but chat's going to know more than I am. I'm just trying to remember what I read a year ago on Wikipedia.
So what I've seen is basically that this is a remake of the original with expansions. So like there's more to it, but it is the original.
I'm all for that. And yeah,
it's a remaster. It's a remaster. That's what chat's saying. Chat knows better than I do.
Well,
Thank
you, remasters don't usually look that good.
Remaster. That's why I was incorrect.
That looks really good. Yeah, we're talking about awesome foliage. We had it in spades in the last 30 minutes between Ark and Metal Gear Delta. Well, I'll give my pick. And
I'm admittedly a noob, chat.
Yeah, I would probably go with Alan Wake as well. But in the spirit of being different, I will go with the other game that really did honestly jump out at me. And it's a Ryan McCaffrey kind of game. I loved. Yeah, it's Still Wakes the Deep. As soon as it started, it was like, oh, it's a first person like walking simulator, weird stuff going on kind of game. Like, yep, that's sign me up for that. It's developed by the Chinese Room, and I really loved Everybody's Gone to the Rapture.
I like that a lot,
too. That was one of my favorite games from that generation. So, yeah, I mean, this is tailor-made where it's just going to be mysterious and weird and maybe creepy as well. And actually, I guess definitely creepy because we heard some... Destin was freaking out about the baby sounds down in the bowels of the oil rig.
No, there weren't baby sounds, and I was like, oh, they're just using some guy going, I'm like, I'm fine with that.
Well, the haunted shrieks down in the bowels of the boat or the oil rig, pardon me, in the middle of the ocean. So yeah, this is going to be early 2024. Game Pass, which most everything we just saw in that partner preview live stream is indeed coming to Game Pass. So all right, we've each given a favorite. Let's kind of run back through everything. We don't necessarily have to spend the whole show on this because we've got plenty of other Xbox stuff that's happened over the last week to talk to you about as well. But let's cover off on these. I mean, Alan Wake 2, I don't know what else really we want to say. Khalif, the fact that you didn't want to watch it speaks pretty well to how much you're looking forward to this game.
Oh yeah, I mean, as a huge fan of the series, and I'm basically running through review right now to get to play more of it, and I don't want to see the cool stuff that's coming. It's gonna all be cool, so I'm like, I don't want to see the cool stuff you just put in your trailer. I don't need that because I'm gonna see it in like a couple of hours or so. But I think them showcasing so much of the game shows the confidence that they have in it. I think them being able to kind of do that with it coming out in a couple of days, that just really gives Remedy another kind of feather in their cap to say, like, we have something really cool coming for you, and you should enjoy it if you're a big fan of the series. So, yeah, when you make me not want to watch your preview content, that tells me that I'm excited for it.
You've got Khalif on media blackout, and that's in our line of
That is
work.
rare.
That's a special thing. That's a special thing. Miranda, you are a bit more of a recent, but a fully fledged Remedy fangirl at this point. You've been going in over the last few years on your personal streams. You've gone back and basically played through most of their entire catalog, at least starting from Alan Wake 1, right?
Yeah, so I started with Alan Wake 1, played a little bit of American Nightmare, played Control, played all the DLC. So I'm so excited. When they announced this, I was like, perfect timing. Like everything is fresh in my mind. Same thing here, just trying to avoid it because like we're only a few days away, and I really want to be surprised by things, especially since this is survival horror.
Yeah.
And there was a monster in like kind of the gameplay section of this that was very spooky.
Yeah, there are too many arms. Too many arms. You have
arms.
too many arms. Please get down to 2 arms.
It's not even that. It's also like there's like this layer of water around it that kind of emulates like the vibe of the lake, of Cauldron Lake. And I was like, that's some very good design.
But it's not a lake, it's an ocean, Miranda.
I also just love sad writers. I love detective stories. I love Remedy's new weird vibe that they go with. Like anything basically inspired by Twin Peaks, I'm like, yes, give me that.
Yeah.
Because it's very different kind of fiction that we don't get a lot. Because it does have to be done right, but also weird, but understandably weird. And I think they just hit the nail on the head. Oh no, it's there.
I have had the pleasure of playing a few hours of kind of the random middle couple of missions of this, which if you're interested, that preview is on IGN.com or on YouTube.com/IGN. Just search for Alan Wake 2 preview, and you'll find my final preview from about maybe a month ago at this point, 3-4 weeks ago. And yeah, the vibe I got, which after 20 years of doing this, I feel like my spidey sense is pretty accurate for this stuff. Not always. I don't always get it right, but my spidey sense tells me that this has an extraordinarily good chance to be the best game that Remedy has ever made, which I am a long-standing, very public super fan of Remedy. I've loved. I mean, they've only tripped once, and that was the single player campaign they did for Crossfire X. Didn't think that was great, but everything they've done that's been completely their own thing, because Crossfire X, of course, they were basically hired to do that by Smile. I can never get Smile Bit or Smile Gate. I never get those two. Anyway, everybody knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, Control and Alan Wake, and for me, the Max Payne games, because I'm old but I love those games. And this just seems like Alan Wake 2 seems like it has very high potential of being the best thing that Remedy's ever done, and I'm so stoked to play more of it. I mean, it's going to be awesome. One of the first games from the stream was Like a Dragon: Infinite Wealth. Miranda, this and basically what they showed was what felt like a total separate game within the game.
It just makes sense. It makes sense for Like a Dragon. It makes sense for Yakuza. Those games are known for having just really in-depth and goofy mini games, and this is, as you said, basically its own mode within the game, which is sort of its own little town sim, which I love. Like, I think obviously right now town sim, cozy games, that kind of thing is really, really popular, and like that genre is really expanded in a lot of ways. So seeing it getting added into something like this is honestly just perfect, just because the tone of Yakuza is so wild.
Yeah.
And I feel bad. I'm like, Yakuza, Like a Dragon. I know they're trying to change it to Like a Dragon mostly. But I think again, the tone of this is just perfect. I actually haven't played these games, and I feel really bad for it because I was like, I got to do it. I'm going to play all of them in order. Max Scoville's giving me the list.
Yeah.
But there's just so many. And also, it's a matter of time, right? And so every time I see a trailer for these, I'm like, oh, yeah, I got to do that. And sometimes I'm just like, maybe I just jump in with the newest one. I don't think that'd hurt, especially because it is so entertaining to watch all of these trailers. One thing I like here too is, I mean, it's all the basics, right? Like resource collecting, you're building up a house, you can go fishing, you have relationships with people. And it is kind of weird that this is its own little mini game because these are a lot of work. Like there's a lot in here. So
it seems like you could just do this and have an awesome time.
Probably
with this game.
Yeah.
Khalif, have you been one of the many people here in the West that have gotten into the Yakuza series since now that it's kind of turned into a thing here in the West?
No, but I have a circle of Yakuza stans that I know who are very, very excited about this and have been hyped about it and have been talking about it when they saw the first trailers drop. I always feel a little bit bad too because it does feel like a game that would be up my alley, but I've just never had the kind of time to jump in and get into it. But I want to so badly because it does feel like it's a ton of fun. But this looks super cool. I like all those kind of sim building pieces, all the small parts that kind of come together, and I do want to see how this kind of wraps itself into the actual main story. Like, because I know in some of the other places you can kind of in some of the other games you can kind of move into certain parts of cities, and those things are kind of just laid out in a way that makes a ton of sense. And this being at a big resort, I feel like they probably have landed that plane pretty easily too. But this looks so weird and fun. So I like the fact that people are continuing to make games like this though, because you need some lightness to kind of balance out all the usually heavy shooty games that we have in the system right now.
Yeah, Destin, you up for some acoustic guitar sing-alongs around the campfire?
Nah, I'm good.
It's not that bad.
If I'm being honest, I have such a back catalog of games. I'll probably be playing something else at that time. Gameplay looks great. I know that there's a lot of people that are really into the Like a Dragon series. Like I'm sure Mitchell and Max are going to love this. But I just like Final Fantasy 16 is still on my back catalog. I still need to play more Starfield. I only have like 10 hours in Starfield. I need to play more of that. I've been playing a ton of Forza. You know, it's just like it's been a tough year. Like Alan Wake 2 is coming out in 2 days.
Yeah. Well,
right? So
you've got until January 26th, which is when this game drops, and I'm pretty sure this was Game Pass as well.
Yeah, they have been.
You're right. They have been.
Hopefully I'll be playing Baldur's Gate 3 on Xbox.
That's also true. I'll tell you, that was one where I thought we might get a release date trailer for that as a kind of mini surprise during this, and we obviously didn't. But we know that from a tweet just a few days ago, the team at Larian Studios is still aiming for this year to get that Xbox version done. So we're basically a third of the way into Q4, into this window that they've targeted for us. So they've got a couple more months of time before. And hey, if they have to bleed in January, as Destin said, it's not like we're short on games to play at the moment. But I guess my big comment on Like a Dragon, because I also haven't I've mostly not played these except for the Like a Dragon that shipped alongside the Xbox Series X when we we kind of had it was kind of a not plentiful launch when it came to games of the Series X, and I did spend some time. I think I did a preview of played a few hours of that Like a Dragon. I had a good time with it. I mean, we don't have a lot of now RPGs that are just set in the modern time.
That's true.
Like most of them are fantasy or sci-fi. So I did like that, and it doesn't take itself seriously as the trailer makes super clear. But this trailer particularly with this Dondoko Island gave me flashbacks to Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball. There's a callback in Xbox history right there for those of you, and for anyone that may be too young and are like, what do you mean? You mean the fighting game? No. Look up the trailers for Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball, and you will wonder you'll go, wait, that got made? That was a real game that happened? Yeah, there were 2 of them. There were 2 of them that happened. I'll just leave it at that because you can go watch the trailers for yourself and you will probably have your own reaction to them. We talked about Ark Survival Ascended a little bit. Let's pivot.
Yeah, can I dive into that just a little bit more?
Go for
chat's like going off.
Let's
about
do it.
So first of all, not available yet. Its Steam page is live. Their forums are saying that apparently Ark Survival Ascended, the Steam page needs to be live for 2 weeks, so they're guessing November 1st for a release date, but really disappointed that there's no release date for Ark Survival Ascended. Also developed in Unreal Engine 5. And I think that's everything that I know this far. They passed cert back on October 16th. So
did they say
that? Yeah, they said that on the Studio Wildcard website, and that's everything we know about Ark Survival Ascended right now. And it is a remake of the original Ark. It's not an expansion, like I originally said.
Remaster wouldn't make sense for how good this looks.
No, I was gonna say it's like this is ground up. They've said so.
Yeah, Unreal Engine. Wow, and Unreal. I mean, you can. So we've got not one but two gorgeous Unreal Engine 5 games, both showing awesome foliage in this partner stream. And I'll tell you, boy, it's a smart move. Just they've spent the last 6, 7, maybe more years building Ark Survival Evolved, and now to just take the finished version of it and remake it in Unreal Engine 5, smart move. I mean, this looks amazing
today. And then console in November, but I'm not seeing any sort of Ark release date, so I don't know where they're getting that, but I'm trying to verify. So if I looked a little distracted, I'm trying to get you Ark info.
No worries. Yeah, I mean, if it passed certification, that means it's close, because if it had failed certification, they'd have to go back, fix whatever was wrong, and then go back through. But if it's passed, that means it should be almost certainly be imminent, which is a great sign. So. Yeah, that may have been that, and Metal Gear which of course were the two games that they didn't tell us. Two of the games they didn't tell us about ahead of time that seemed to be the standouts.
Their YouTube trailer says available today.
Oh, well,
so their official YouTube trailer released 20 minutes ago says available today, and then they link out to the Steam page. So keep an eye on Steam. Available on Steam today, and it's coming soon to console.
So
I want to play this game. I'm excited.
That's why then this trailer in the Xbox stream here only said coming soon, because Steam is not a Microsoft platform. But good to know. So we can. I guess we know what Destin will be doing as soon as we're done here.
Well, I have Metal Gear that I want to compare the in-game footage to the Metal Gear Solid 3, and now I want to play Ark Survival Ascended. Like, the game looks so freaking good. Like, chat can give me crap all they want for like not being up to date on what's going on with Ark, but as a new player, I didn't know anything about this, and I am so stoked. So Xbox is doing a good job of exposing an entirely new player base to this awesome, amazing looking game. So that's exactly what the purpose of the third-party partner stream is, and I'm stoked to play it now.
Yeah,
Steam chat, you got another Ark fan.
We'll see. The Steam page just says still coming soon, and it's just it's going to be early access. So
we'll see. Still, Khalif Adams, pick a game we haven't talked about yet and dive into it. Let's talk about something else.
Ooh, RoboCop looked really good. Rogue City, in an interesting way. The game that I thought everyone was going to clown when they first got a chance to see it, and now I've heard through peers and other folks who've had some time with the preview that was on PC a little while ago, that they are actually pretty stoked for it and excited for what this game is going to be. I think this will be a really fun kind of trivia moment for the new folks coming to the series, folks who have been attached to this IP and to this franchise for a very long time, like myself. Now we get to kind of poke through the game and play around with some of the things that we know that are a part of that lore and that universe and the IP. So I'm excited for this. I want to see how they get the gunplay right. Does the gun sound as good as it's supposed to? Does Murphy sound like he's supposed to? Like, do they get all of those pieces together? The Peter Weller.
Well, they definitely got the actress who played Anne Lewis.
Yes, Anne Lewis looks great in the game.
She looks exact. Yeah.
She looks fantastic in the game. So yeah, like all those small pieces of the UI and the radar, they've paid attention to the RoboCop details that you need to pay attention to. Now we get a chance to see how they've built around that in a game that wasn't on my radar in a big way, but RoboCop, anytime you put that into any game, it automatically piques my interest. So excited for what this might be.
RoboCop has popped into video games over the last decade or so.
Yeah.
What
was in Mortal Kombat?
Exactly. I knew you were going to go there.
Yeah.
And it's next gen only. There's no Xbox One version of this, so it does lean into the new console, and it does, at least in the trailers, it looks very pretty. My favorite little detail in this, just as a car guy, is that they are using the same like late 80s Ford Taurus police cars, which the first movie, were in the first movie. So they really seem to have nailed the setting of this really, really well.
Yeah. Detroit has never looked better.
They really lean into the movement mechanics as RoboCop, and you can like repair. They just had Steam Next Fest, and you're able to play like an hour of RoboCop or so. There's going to be like an RPG type system within the game where you can level up different attributes of RoboCop as a character, and it's really fun. I really, really like how they lean into the slow thump, like methodical movement that RoboCop has as a character, and I'm excited to take on Ed 209 and see what's going on with him. Now, it's not like the most polished or best looking game in the world, but I'm actually okay with that. I just think if they get the gameplay right for this RoboCop, maybe the next one, is better, or they get to continue to evolve the formula if this ends up working well. And you can play the demo right now if you want to just go play it.
As I recall, Valve sent out a list, I think it was last week, of the most popular demos from the Steam Next Fest, and I think this was maybe number 4. It was right near the top of the list. But yeah, we've talked on Unlocked before about how the sort of AA games, like mid-budget games, have largely fallen by the wayside in recent years because, kind of like movies, you've got tons of great indie stuff, and then you've got a ton of mega-budget blockbuster stuff, but not a lot in between. This seems like a great example of the kind of game we used to get a lot in the original Xbox era, and a bit into the 360 era too, where again, it's kind of that middle of the road. Like, this is clearly not an $80 million game that's got, all kinds of crazy bells and whistles and a big multiplayer mode or anything like that. But it does look nice, and if it plays well, and I know we do have a preview on IGN right now from a couple months ago that I think maybe from Gamescom that spoke fairly highly of it. That this could be a little sleeper game that's out next week, November 2nd.
Dang.
Yeah.
So
this could. Oh, go ahead, Miranda. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's fine. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if Nacon can continue to put out, because I feel like Nacon has been a space that has been doing some of these kinds of games of late, and that fits that kind of AA space in a way that we, like you talked about, has kind of gone away. But if you can drop some sludge on an enemy, that's all matters in this game to make that a game of the year contender. Go ahead, Miranda. I'm sorry.
Oh no worries. I was just gonna say, for those of us unfamiliar with RoboCop, like I know of RoboCop, but I was a little out of time for this one.
It was a hard R-rated movie.
Yeah, not really.
At a time when you were probably not watching R-rated movies quite yet in your life.
No, but like I knew of it. One thing I noted was how stiff RoboCop is. I'm like, oh yeah, that's like his thing. And it's like, you can kind of tell too, like with the movements of the other characters. And I think they do a really good job illustrating that, of like owning what RoboCop is and like kind of leaning into that for this. So that was the main takeaway I had from this. I was like, that's just really funny. It's really weird, but I think that's RoboCop. It's kind of weird.
I'm actually really excited to see your take on it if you get a chance to play it, and if you get a chance to then kind of go back to the original media and see where the things kind of touch, because it's a fun thing to be able to kind of go back if you have fresh eyes to it, to be able to see that stuff. So I'll be excited to see if you ever get a chance to go back on it.
There's a good first time for everything, right? Like I recently just watched Blade for the first time, and that was a trip.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, the first chunk is really good, and then it just nosedives. And I'm like,
yes.
What happened? And apparently there were things that happened in production, so I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. So
Shout out to, because I'm old, RoboCop versus Terminator.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anybody else remember that video game?
Yeah.
That was a thing. I think it was a comic book series as well, which may have been probably was what the game was based off of. But NES, very long time ago, RoboCop versus Terminator. So good to have RoboCop back on the scene in the video game space. I'd buy that for $1.
Yes, I still say that. It's still in the lexicon.
Absolutely. Miranda.
Yes.
Spirit of the North 2. We were all kind of watching going, wait, so do you play as the bird or as the fox or either one? Do you switch back and forth?
Yeah.
But that seemed like maybe a Miranda kind of game.
I think I need some more context. Like, I think with trailers like this, where it's very atmospheric, it's a lot about the environment. They're very nice if it's a known property to showcase, like, this is what the engine's going to be like. These are the upgrades visually. Like, you know what this plays like. But for games like this, where I have zero context for anything, I was like, wow, that city's on fire. That's really unfortunate. I don't know what's happening here. I obviously, these guys are buds. We like a fox, and I like bird buds.
I would like to play as the fox. That would be fun.
Yeah.
I don't know if I care about the bird as much.
Yeah. All I got from this trailer is like, it's pretty, and they're walking around.
Yeah. And the bird's carrying him around. I missed that the first time around.
Strong bird.
That was that was a rip. That's doing some talon flexes right there.
Either very strong or a very underweight fox.
Right.
So
it's their light up tail and wings. That's where they're getting their strength from.
Yeah.
The original came out 4 years ago. This is a sequel, but the first one totally flew by me. I had no idea it existed. Yeah, right. So interesting game. I agree. I don't know how to play. I don't know enough about it.
Yeah.
It flew by. It flew by us carrying a fox, and we didn't notice.
Yeah, we're like, oh, that was cute. I mean, that one clip of them flying together is cute, but then other than that, I think that's the problem with these sorts of things, where it's an unknown quantity, but it's a sequel. It's like it's not good for us for our first impression to be like, I have no idea what's happening here. That was my impression. Which
but I am intrigued. I am intrigued by again, like, sort of probably dialogue-free, fancy scenery, weird non-dialogue story happens, and you play as animals. It checks a lot of boxes for me.
Yeah.
This is our stray of the year.
I'm a little concerned when it drops here at the end, because you see some character with the sword, like at this it's like flaming sword. It's like, hey man, these are animals. Like, I mean, obviously animals can be really strong, and obviously that bird has proven itself by carrying a fox across a chasm. But what's it gonna do against a sword? You know, like, there's only 2 of them, and they're very small. So I'm curious.
Well, we shall see. That was an interesting little mini reveal on this one as well. There's a few more. Destin, I want you to tell us about Dungeons of Hinterberg, which we got a fresh look at. You and I got to see this a few months ago.
Yeah, so Dungeons of Hinterberg is a smaller game where you go to a town and you solve puzzles using your abilities. It's sort of RPG-esque, not turn-based. You kind of just go into a battle when you encounter an enemy and you fight them. But I'm very interested about this. It's just a smaller game. It is coming to Game Pass. It's sort of intriguing in terms of its premise, but yeah, I like it, and it's nice to see it here showcased today.
I want to visit Hinterberg.
Me too. That was my big takeaway.
I was like, man, can I just sit in that cafe over there and just look at the water?
It's like a
really
pretty,
nice.
Swiss or German town by a lake, but there happen to be dungeons around. Like, I'm willing to endure the dungeons to just hang out in this location.
Yeah.
In addition to the combat stuff, though, what they're showing here is the dialogue system in the town, where you can actually build up relationships with characters within the village and then take them out into, or I don't remember if you can take them out into battle with you, but I do know that they sort of send you on these adventures to go get things when we saw the demo.
Yeah, and I will say I like the art style here a lot. It's kind of it's not
a roller drome in there.
Yeah, that's a good comparison. It's like sort of cell shady, sort of comic book page like.
Definitely cell shaded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like this a lot. So this is another one that's not to be slept on, and it is also, I believe, let me find my notes here. believe that's coming into Game Pass as well. We did not get any kind of date for that aside from 2024. So another solid one.
Oh, 25 dungeons there, they said, and 5 more somewhere else. I'm curious about the puzzles. I think whenever they say we have puzzles in our dungeons, I'm like, man, they better be good. That's all I gotta say. If it's just turning around some spoke somewhere far away, I need more. I just need some more. But I guess obviously since the main thing here is the dungeons and I guess relationships, I'm curious to see how those play in. And see, it's like this one's like you unlock photo mode, you got some dodge stamina increased, and like those are kind of interesting. But I hope they're.
Oh, you can have a dog friend. I saw a dog in there.
Oh, nice.
So
like an emergency pager.
That's plus adds points to it for me right there. Khalif, talk to me about the finals.
Yeah, the finals was a game, or is a game, that is a kind of multi-stage. I wouldn't say battle royale, but it kind of has a battle royale feel to it. Where you have a couple of teams that are all going at each other to try to get the most money in these large arenas. The big kind of hook for this game is that everything is destructible in the very kind of dice Battlefield for what was the Levolution kind of feel that you had for that game. This game, that's kind of the big deal for this one. Got a chance to play this earlier in the year on PC. They had a mini beta for the game, and it is pretty fantastic. It is one of those games that I think if it can find a really strong community early, I think people will really like find their place with this game. It's what is it, class-based shooter. And I'm hoping that now that we saw it in the Xbox Showcase that they've gotten a lot of their controller support stuff together. Because as a person who plays most of their games with a controller, even on PC, that wasn't really working as well as I had hoped in their initial beta on PC. So really happy to see this kind of making its way. And I think this will be a game that has some legs if you can get some good folks to kind of jump in and play it.
The open beta starts tomorrow for this. So that was a plus. Yeah, Destin, I mean, it's really difficult to survive in the free-to-play, team-based, competitive first-person shooter genre. But this, at the very least, the final seems to have a lot of personality, which is which will go a long way towards helping it find an audience, right?
Yeah, it does. Different character classes, a very cool looking art style. It's going to be interesting to see if it ends up grabbing people's attention. The beta's tomorrow, so we're going to be able to get a whole bunch of hands-on time. I like the idea that the arena looks fully destructible, so it's sort of like that Battlefield thing where if somebody's hiding on the next floor, you can just blow up the floor and bring them down to your level, so to speak, or at least expose a new line of sight where you can take out your opponents. So very interested to see more. It does seem team-based and collaborative in terms of how it's going to work. But yeah, gameplay looks really solid.
We got a couple more games. Yeah, a couple more games to mention real quick. Because again, a lot of these were really this was a strong 30 minutes of games. I mean, there's some really, and it was a good variety of stuff too. One of the new reveals we got, which we didn't, admittedly, the trailer didn't show much, but if I'm pronouncing it correctly, Ikaro Will Not Die. Ikaro Will Not Die, a third-person action game with, again, kind of its own somewhat cel-shaded look here. And again, it's got kind of an interesting vibe to it. We're watching the trailer now if you're checking us out on video. And yeah, I thought it's still tough to know exactly what this is, but it's got some potential. Khalif, did this jump out at you at all?
The thing that kind of perked my interest to begin was the splash of all the developers on there, thinking that Thunderful and the folks who were connected to some of the work on Power Wash Sim were kind of doing something outside of their normal wheelhouse. That's awesome to be able to see. This felt like a little bit of Volume, if you remember that game, in terms of some of the art style there, which was a pretty good game and a lot of fun there. Yeah, I just wish I had more info on it because it looks from the visual stylings really fun. But games like this definitely do have that kind of run through it. Time, like I feel like there's maybe some time elements here, like time score based stuff in there. It feels like a game that would fit that mode really, really well. So yeah, I'm just waiting to see more info about it because it looks cool. I just got to get some hands on with it to see what the deal is.
Miranda, maybe a little Hi-Fi Rush vibe in there. Obviously without the rhythm aspect of it, but in terms of the game, the combat,
maybe the look of it,
vibe,
almost not like stylistically in the art, but just like the level design a little bit. Apparently, this is a spiritual successor to Velocity.
Yeah,
I didn't play those games.
A roguelite, they call it as well in the press release here.
It seems all right. I mean, it's not like something I'm personally interested in, but I like the some of the movement mechanics, like tying yourself to an enemy and swooping around them. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, they say they say they're going to have exhilarating flow state, grab surfing movement, and martial arts combat. So should be another one to keep our eye on here. And that one we did not get any kind of date or anything for as of yet, so TBD there. And then I think the last game, was there one more game or was that everything? It might have been. Oh no, that's right. I wanted to throw to Destin because Destin, this was catching your attention. Manor Lords.
Oh yeah, Manor Lords.
Manor Lords is our last game.
Yeah. April 26th. I don't know what to
you had plenty to say when the trailer was going and we were all watching this together.
I said it looks interesting. I think I've heard of this game. And that's about all that I said. Yeah, it looks cool. I like the idea of controlling these large battalions and then having them fight other battalions. It looks cool, but that's about all I said about it.
Here's my take on that. I love the transition between building your town and building gardens for wheat and then fighting.
Yeah.
It's like, make that wheat. Now we're going to fight for that wheat.
Yeah, so if you've ever wanted to manage a medieval town and
turn that butter,
fight for your
make
food,
that
right?
Wheat. Yeah.
This one I've had my eye on for a while just because it's interesting, and I think it's pretty interesting in the PC community. One of my old favorite games, actually on the 360, was A Kingdom for Keflings.
Great pick. Great pick.
Yeah.
Love that. And this reminds me of that, but obviously more intense. And I think one of the things that really stood out to me in this trailer was when that guy was like, "Let's go, boys." It's not period appropriate, but if that happens, I'd really love it. Like just some like mildly weird stuff. But I think it looks really pretty, and honestly, seeing that it's coming to Xbox made me even more excited because I didn't know that. I thought it was just PC.
Yeah, heading into game preview on PC Game Pass, you were able to just jump in and play the not done yet version of it on April 26th, which that might be the furthest out date we have for anything.
One of them, right? For sure.
I don't know if any other game has planted a flag in the ground on a particular date that far out into 2024.
As far as I know. Yeah.
So Manor Lords has that distinction.
I'm ready to get my PJ wearing guys with their spears and go burn another village.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
Come on, boys.
Let's go, boys.
Thine homies. Let's go.
Overall thoughts, that 30 minutes. Khalif, I'll go to you for just kind of quick evaluation of this thing.
I mean, I think Xbox set really, really reasonable and good expectations on the Xbox Wire in big bolded font. Was like, we're not gonna get anything from the ABK conversation to be in this show, and they stuck to that, which was great. And I think there weren't a ton of big surprises here, except for what I think Metal Gear Delta being shown. I think that was the biggest, like oh snap moment for the show. But I think it was pretty good. Like again, like I think pacing for these things is kind of paramount. Like you have to make sure that you're setting good expectations and also not kind of blitzing through things fast enough that people can't really comprehend and kind of pull in what you're trying to do. And they did a really good job of that and kind of getting the third parties and those other partners to give them some shine in the space that was dedicated to them. So kudos to the team and congratulations, because they have a lot of news in the world, and this was a good way to kind of get the week rolling for some more conversations.
Miranda, your thoughts on that partner preview?
It's fine. It's fine. Like there's a decent mix of stuff, but I do sort of wish that Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo would honestly hold off on doing these unless they have something for first party to announce with everything else. Maybe that's a little weird when there are a lot of third party things, but oftentimes it feels just like a smattering of games that were just put together, some which are hyper relevant, some are not. And like Alan Wake being there, like obviously it's coming out this week. It makes sense for them to want to show that, but at the same time, it's like it's out this week. I know. I don't want to see any more. We've shown a lot. There's been a lot of preview coverage. Like we've done a lot. I don't need to see that anymore. So I kind of wish that there was like more of a focus or a theme, or if Microsoft wanted to refocus these to be a little bit more about their ID at Xbox specifically. Like I know they do that, of course, in conjunction with their bigger presentations around E3
or with us. Like Destin and the team helped put together an ID at Xbox stream not too long ago.
It seems it's fine. It's fine. Like this could have been a list though on Xbox Wire, and that would have also been fine. But I guess there is.
Well, you want to elevate these games coming to your platform that you want people to see that to be honest, they're not going to see if it's just an Xbox Wire.
Right.
Post,
and I understand the marketing reason for these, but I kind of wish there was a little bit more cohesion or a theme or something a little bit different other than like, here's some stuff.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Destin, your thoughts?
If it was, because this was like, what, 20, 25 minutes, and it was just Alan Wake 2, would that have been better because it would have been thematic?
No. Well, if they did horror, if they just did like a bunch of horror
or
stuff.
Just general scary
ahead
games.
of Halloween.
Yeah.
Here's some stuff coming up.
Let's get spooky.
Like,
I like these. I like them when PlayStation does it. I like them when Xbox is doing them now. And I don't know if this is an answer to the PlayStation third-party showcases, but just one of the games that I knew nothing about was Ark Survival Ascended. Chat taught me a little bit about it. I'm sitting here refreshing the Steam page, excited to play it. And that's exactly the goal of these presentations, right? We also learned a lot about some new games like Icaro Will Not Die. We had a lot of concurrence on our stream that now know about that property. And I think it does. I think it's doing exactly what it's hoping to do, right? Expose a new audience to a lot of new IP. I do hear you on the thematic aspect, but it also gave us an idea of what we have coming in the immediate future on the Xbox platform. Alan Wake 2, RoboCop, Icaro Will Not Die. The finals is out tomorrow, the open beta. Ark Survival Ascended. I believe their YouTube channel says it's coming in November. And then right away in 2024, Like a Dragon, Still Wakes in the Deep, Dungeons and Hinterberg. So I'm excited about that aspect of it.
The problem too there is like with Ark, even everyone's obviously in chat asking like, when is that happening? And we didn't know until we dug into the Ark trailer video description. So like there's communication issues with this too. Is like we don't actually know everything is coming because not everything had a date or even information about when.
It just says coming soon. The only reason I know those other details is because on the official YouTube release, only on their version of the video, it says available today on PC. Their website's down, by the way.
Yeah.
And it links to the Steam thing, and then it says coming November in consoles. Why wasn't that just on the splash graphic at the end of the trailer? Like today on PC, November for console. Like
you're right, Destin. It said
coming soon.
It is that kind of dumb corporate politics thing where, oh, well, since it's Steam, we're going to pretend it doesn't exist. And they all do this. Like Sony's the worst, where they'll try to pretend every game on their streams it will never see the light of day on Xbox, even when most of them are. But if you're getting people excited about Ark today, you could have just said early access today on PC. And coming soon to Xbox. Like that would have been,
which is weird because there's PC Game Pass, right? Steam, it's available today, and Diablo's on Steam, and that's now an Xbox property. Overwatch is on Steam, that's an Xbox property now. So, and like Forza Motorsport's on Steam. All the Xbox games are on Steam. So I don't know why you wouldn't just say at least PC today,
right?
And then console November. Like I think what happened is in the production timeline, they did not have the date locked in because they started on the 16th. They probably had this production locked down, like having done one of these. They probably had production, everything locked in place. So they couldn't confirm the specific date. And then it just ended up working out this way. And Unfortunately, we have to dig for that info as consumers or wait for a press release. Even on the official Xbox Wire blog post, I don't believe they mentioned that it's PC today with console in November. It's only on this YouTube channel, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to belabor the point. I think we've made that point. But
I'm excited. I want to play.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
It's good constructive feedback for them, and I think for me, I'm a little more bullish on this. I think Microsoft did a good job of setting the expectations, calibrating our expectations properly ahead of time by saying, hey, there's no first party stuff here. There's no Activision Blizzard stuff here. We've got some third party stuff to show you. If I were to make one constructive suggestion to Microsoft for this, it would be that this is the wrong time of year for this. Because these are, and yes, I know some of these games are coming out very soon. The finals beta tomorrow, Alan Wake Friday, RoboCop next week. So I get that piece of it. But this time of year is the conversation is generally pretty well dominated in the gaming community by the big stuff. And Alan Wake is one of those big games, so I'm not trying to say it's not. But if I would, not that they shouldn't do this now, but I think maybe it would have been more effective if they'd lined up a bunch of early 2024 things and done this in the first or second week of January. Just come back from the new year and hey, we have a little partner preview for you, just some stuff coming up, no first party stuff. Then I think people would be more in a little bit more of a mindset to just kind of focus on it. Because now, we're thinking about Forza. We're still playing Starfield as Destin said. We've got Alan Wake Friday. We've got Baldur's Gate 3 looming for Xbox at some point in the next couple months. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, now a first-party game, officially is coming out in a week or so as well. So yeah, I mean, I this time of year it might be. I don't know what the metrics are going to be for this as far as the tune-in, if Microsoft will be happy with it, but it is nice to elevate these games that might otherwise just be Xbox Wire blog posts. That now, I'm definitely more interested in some of these now than I was an hour ago. So I think mission accomplished on that front. So I think we're running out of time. I need somebody to yell at me and tell me how much time we have, because I'm trying to decide. I think we've got time for trivia, because we haven't done one in a while, and Miranda's back.
Oh no!
So let's spring trivia on you.
Please don't.
Please don't. You don't want me to?
Listen, I'm so bad at trivia, guys.
You're gonna do great.
I'll try. How many points do you guys have?
It's
more than
these folks have. Let's say
I probably have no points. I still
not
not bad.
done so well this.
Oh, okay. I have a chance then.
Oh yeah, no, I'll get the scoreboard out here, but yeah, I'll do that as I read the question. This is a good one. This is from James in Oregon, who says the original Xbox had the blessing of support from Sega, which is right, a lot of support from Sega, resulting in quite a few wonderful games. In addition to the 2K Sports Series and Jet Set Radio, there were games that were versions of Sega's arcade hits that came to the original Xbox. Of these Sega arcade franchises, which one was not represented on the original Xbox? Was it Virtua Fighter, Outrun, House of the Dead, or Crazy Taxi? So 3 of those were on. They did see a release on the original Xbox. One of them didn't. I want you to tell me which one did not as I pull up.
Closing chat so they don't ruin it.
Chat, yeah.
I'm not looking.
So our leader right now is Destin with 6 points. And we have Stella at 3. Miranda, you got on the board before you had to dip out and go into Wikiland there and leave the show for a while. So, you're not mathematically eliminated yet, but you could be if you don't get today's right. I'm not sure. No, I'm kidding. You've still got some time.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get this right.
I'm going to go to you first. Yeah, go for it.
I'm going to guess Outrun, because I don't know what that is.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to fix that after. That's classic.
I know the other 3. I don't know Outrun.
Classic. Ferrari Testarossa.
Yeah.
Outrun. Destin, you're next. One of these did not come to the original Xbox. Which one was it?
I think it was House of the Dead, but I honestly have no idea. I'm
All right.
only saying that because I remember the Dreamcast having House of the Dead and Typing of the Dead, and maybe
Okay.
there was some deal there.
Khalif, I go to you.
I was gonna go with House of the Dead too.
No, you're not allowed now.
I'm doing the Price is Right thing where I just go $1 lower,
Right,
and then I
that's
just
all you
try
gotta
to pick
do.
them basically the same time.
That's all you got to do. All right, so 2 House of the Dead and 1 Outrun. That's where we landed with this.
Yeah.
Well, no points will go on the board then. Virtua
What was it?
Fighter.
Okay,
Knew it!
that was
We
my
got.
other-
Oh, yeah, we definitely
Dang it.
got Outrun.
I knew.
we did get.
I know we had House of the Dead and Crazy Taxi because I played
indeed.
Crazy Taxi.
Yeah.
I knew Crazy Taxi also. I didn't know. I wasn't sure about House of the Dead. Virtua Fighter would have been my second guess.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Whew. Okay.
Because they
I
weren't
don't feel
really
so
into
bad.
fighters at that point.
I don't remember Outrun either. I don't.
Crazy. I have like a Pavlovian response to Crazy Taxi, where as soon as it's said, the Outruns, the Offspring song starts immediately playing. Yeah, exactly. That's how it goes. So thank you to James in Oregon for sending in that excellent Xbox trivia question that I thought was fair. It wasn't like so obscure where nobody could possibly get it. That was a good one, James. Good stuff.
That was a good one.
You stumped the panel. And I will say I would have gotten that one right. Just to
Okay.
thank you, James. If anybody else wants to send in an Xbox trivia question, we'll play again next week. The email address to send your question and 4 multiple choice answers, noting the correct answer in your email, send that to unlocked@ign.com. And we've got just a few minutes here before we have to go. So, Miranda, A, welcome back. B, I'm not sure if we're going to see you again for a while after this.
Probably soon.
Great.
Soonish.
That's great news. So, since you've been out for a while, give yourself, your team, plugs. Where can we catch up with all things Miranda?
Yeah, absolutely. You can find me mostly doing guides work on all of our guides. Basically, if there's a game, we probably have a guide. Like we were just talking, and somehow I was like, oh, I got to look at Slack because we want to cover Arc, and I know everyone's really excited for that. So one of my teammates is really into that. So we're looking at covering Arc, Manor Lords, and a bunch of other stuff coming up. But of course, we have a massive Starfield guide, which actually I'm still kind of working on. It's fine. I'm fine. It's fine. I'm good. I'm having a good time though.
Good.
And plenty of others. So please be sure to check those out. I'm probably going to stream Alan Wake too, because I think that'd be fun because it's spooky. So I'll be doing that on Twitch, and that's at Havoc Grows. That's Havoc with a K. You can also find me on, it's always tempting to say Twitter, but I'm like, it's X, but it's Twitter.
It's all good.
And Blue Sky at Havoc Grows.
Sounds good. Khalif, Spawn on Me. Where can we get it?
Yeah, check it out on all podcast platforms. We've been doing most of our video shows have been going up on Spotify and showing the goodness there. YouTube's been doing really well with our Spider-Man review that we just put up, Spider-Man 2 review. And really quick announcement: the Spawnies is returning for year 3. It is locked in. We're doing it in Black History Month of 2024. So keep your ears and eyes locked for that because that'll be fun.
Love it. Awesome stuff. Love to see you succeed, my friend. It is all well deserved. Destin?
Yeah, if you need me, I'll be refreshing the Arc Steam page until I can actually play the game. Expect gameplay by end of day, assuming the website comes back up and I can play it. So yeah, IGN, very excited about this game now. Thank you, chat, for being excited about it, because now I'm excited about it. No GTA 6 today. Big disappointment. But stay tuned to IGN for more. Rumor is they're just going to stealth drop it tomorrow and surprise everybody. We'll see. Yeah.
That would be absurd.
Wild.
Yeah.
Follow me on X, Destin Legary. I have a Blue Sky. I don't know what it is. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm still on the old platform. I'm still on X, Twitter, whatever we want to call it. DMC_Ryan. I think you guys are. I think you're going to be on your own next week because I'm going to the MFN World Series in Arizona.
What?
I am stoked. Go Diamondbacks. Let's go win this thing. Why not? We've come this far. Let's keep it rolling. Thank you, everybody, for watching, for tuning in live, or if you're listening to us later, we appreciate you tuning in. And with that, we'll see you back next week.
Okay, so my thoughts about this, I kind of agree what he said. about they should have showed most of the 2024 games in January, so that would have been more better, I guess. But anyways, I'll be covering, you know, RoboCop in next week, like a Dragon Wolf next year or this year. Also be covering Modern Warfare 3 campaign November 2nd for the early access. Yeah, a lot of new games coming out. Games that is already announced or was announced. This year has been so good for gaming, so